I was a bit weak during the recording and all, so I hope you'd understand why I'm kinda like this. So yeah, enjoy.
What's up, warrior without a shield? Anyway, it's me again, and I'm back with another Blender tutorial. And today we'll be doing this shield design kind of a tutorial with this kind of a design. It looks medieval and looks low poly and looks very simple. Let's get right to it. So anyway, we head over to Blender again and we open a new file, and then we delete everything. This time with just by pressing A and then X and then delete, and then we have to add a mesh. This time it's a cylinder and not a cube, so yeah, let's go. And then we just scale it up like this by pressing S, and then we'll scale it down by Z-axis by pressing S and then Z. That way it'll be flat, not too flat, but just the right amount of flatness. Now we head over to edit mode by pressing tab, and then we just have to select this face only, and then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do an inset faces shortcut kind of stuff though. All you have to do is just press E and then right click and then S. Now you can actually do an inset faces shortcut though. That way you won't have to go to that panel right here though. The size of the circle, it depends on you. Well, no really, but it has to be small. It has to be really a bit smaller than the actual circle, but yeah, it's gonna be like this. Now we're gonna reverse extrude by pressing E and then yeah, and then go down a bit. Okay, just enough for it to be you know, more like a well. And then yeah, we do that inset faces shortcut by pressing E again and then right click and then S. That way you would do this inset faces kind of thing, you know. Next thing you should do is that you're gonna do some extruding designing by pressing E and then E again and then S. That way you would create this kind of a cone type of tip right here. We go to top view by pressing numpad 7. And then yeah, now the next thing we should do is that we're gonna select faces until it forms like a cross. So you have to do something like this though. You have to select at least a number of faces per side though until it forms a cross, a very parallel cross. And yeah, now we're gonna press F. That way it would be filled with just a single face, and we're gonna do the same for the other faces, you know, just to be equal, you know, equality. Now you have this kind of a, you know, kind of a wheel type of thing though, you know. Now we're gonna select 4 faces like this. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna extrude them by pressing E, and then not to go overboard because those faces might go over the tip, you know. So we're actually done almost. What we're gonna make next is the handle. So let's go and add a mesh, a cube, and then we put it down by pressing G and then Z. Now we're gonna scale it down by Z-axis by pressing S and then Z, so that it will be flattened a bit though. And now just S and then yeah, Y to make it more flatter though, more slimmer, more scaling. Okay, we go to side view by pressing numpad 1, and then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do loop cuts though. We go to this panel right here and then press loop cut tool, and then we're gonna go to the center. You see that yellow line, you just have to press it, and then you're gonna go to the other side, and then on the other side this segment right here, and then yeah, we go to wireframe view. What's wireframe view? You just have to press Z and then you go to yeah, wireframe. What you're gonna see is that it's kind of like it's like what the name suggests, it is a wireframe design though for your mesh though. What wireframe does is that you can actually select what's behind of it though. That way you wouldn't have to go from the other side though, just to select some faces though. What we're here for is that we're gonna go adjust the handle though. So you're gonna select this part right here and then this part right here, those 2 poles. And what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna move it above though by pressing G and then Z. And then we can just scale it down like this though. And now we're gonna put it above as if it was attached to the you just have to press G and then Z, and then yeah, until it will be like this though. And we're kind of done though. And if you want to go to the solid view, you can just press Z and then go to solid though. Now we're actually done with the handle and the whole thing. Yes, and yeah, it was very quick. Now we're gonna go to the materials. Oh yes, so we go over to the material panel right here, and then we're gonna add 2 materials though, 2 main materials though. One will be silver, and then one would be the wood design though. So yeah, there we go. Alright, that silver is the main material for this though. Next thing you should do is that we're gonna go to material preview, yeah, view. You just have to press Z and then go to material preview like this, and now you can actually see the material preview to shade. And then we proceed to creating the silver though. So what I did for the silver is that I just go the base color gray though, and then what I did is that I put the metallic shader to almost max, but not max, but almost though. The next thing I should do is that I put the roughness down, that way the reflection would be seen though a bit though, like this, but not too much because the reflective properties would be very much too much though. So I put the roughness a bit, yeah, that way it would be a bit blurry but not too blurry though. So yeah, now we head over to creating the wood texture, and it's kind of a long process I think, but if you actually know how to create wood, just skip this part right here. So yeah, so in creating the wood, first off we're gonna assign the parts that will be covered by the wood texture. So we just have to select those that are below the upper, you know, cross. So yeah, and now we're gonna go to the wood texture, and now we're gonna press assign. That way the wood texture would be applied to those selected faces right here. Now we're going to create the actual wood texture. We go to shading workspace right here. It's on the top of your window right here, and now you see this kind of a workspace right here though. This is where we're gonna work with the nodes. So what I did is that I add a color ramp like this, then put it here, and then a wave texture right here, and then put it right there. And then what I did is that I connect the color of the wave texture to the factor, and then the color to the base color of the color ramp on the principal BSDF though. So yeah, we go create the colors for the wood though. So my tip for you is that you should know what colors wood looks like, okay? If I said that right. And then yeah, if you know what wood looks like though, you can actually just you know. So what I did is that I just go with the dark brown start, and then a midterm light you know, brown though kind of thing, not too white because you know it would be very much ugly though. And now we're gonna add another one by pressing that plus sign right there, and now we're gonna adjust yeah, it's yeah. And now here's the hard part though. So we're gonna go mess with this settings right here, so on the wave texture. And yeah, now I'm just gonna go down the scale to I think 0.7 though. So yeah, or 0.8, maybe 0.7 I think would be good though. And then we go over the distortion, so it would look like it's wavy though. Or if you want to, you just go scale up a bit though, that way it would be more wavy though. And then yeah, the detail would be the X factor for this, you know. So you go over the detail, and then if you want to, you just go the detail scale, but nah, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, so if you want to go over the distort, and if you're not satisfied with the color though, you can just mess with the color here. It's just for you to actually know how the wood texture kind of looks like though. So this is how the wood texture was made though. If you know how to create wood, actual wood, you can just skip this tutorial. So yeah, we're basically done with the shield, and I hope you learned something. This is just another base tutorial for you to actually know how to create shields. That way you would create better designs than this. So I hope you learned something. And I know it's a crappy tutorial, but yeah, I was hoping to get good reviews from you though, or maybe bad reviews, but it's all about how I'm gonna learn this kind of a software, you know, because I'm still learning. Okay, so yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll be seeing you guys soon. Peace out.